to make sure that Chicago stays the course when it comes to creating accessible, equitable, and inclusive opportunities for our residents. And joining me today are Alderman and Chairman of the Budget Committee, Pat Dowell, Chicago Reader publisher, Tracy Bain, Indigo publisher and founder, Dr. Hermine Hartman, and the many representatives from local media outlets joining us in the audience. I neglected to also notice that Chairman Michelle Harris is also here with us today. So you might be wondering why all of these folks from local, neighborhood, and community outlets are standing with me here today. So let me explain to you why that is. I will be signing an executive order regarding the share of city advertising dollars that are spent with community media outlets. The executive order will not only expand the reach of this important and timely information to residents, but also support journalistic endeavors by increasing the amount of city advertising dollars to these publications by hundreds of thousands of dollars on an annual basis. And the idea for this executive order came out of conversations I had over a year ago with some of the leaders that are joining me here today. And yes, Hermine, you were the one who brought this to our attention. Chicago is proudly one of the most diverse cities in the world, and it's only right that the city government honors that diversity by supporting local media outlets that our communities rely upon every single day. And with due respect to some of the journalists that are in the seats, these are the folks that are making it happen in the neighborhoods. These are the folks that people are increasingly relying upon, and we have an interest in making sure that hyper-local coverage remains vital in our city, and we do that by putting our money where our mouth is. That's why the executive order is rooted in equity, and it requires that all City of Chicago departments spend at least 50% of their total digital and print advertising budget with community media outlets in Chicago. This will ensure that city communications and information on programs are accessible to all of our residents, no matter their circumstances. Importantly, it will also serve as an economic boon for many of our local media outlets, many of which haven't received the attention or the funding that they truly deserve, given the service and role that they play in communicating with our residents. For our diverse residents, this executive order will provide important opportunities to strengthen their relationship with the City of Chicago and stay up to date on any and all city initiatives and announcements. This effort comes after significant collaboration between my office, the Department of Law, the Department of Finance, and the Office of Budget and Management, as well as with these local media outlets. And it follows the New York City model that was established through a similar executive order back in 2019. By requiring their departments to spend 50% of their marketing dollars on community and ethnic media, New York City was able to see a reported $10 million of new money spread across 220 publications in 36 different languages in its first year alone. And we are excited to see a similar impact here in the City of Chicago. And I'm grateful to all of these leaders who helped us along this journey and to make it happen. And I'd like to thank the team at the Chicago Independent Media Alliance for their continuous engagement with and advocacy for Chicago's community and ethnic media outlets. For Darlene Gervais from Craig Newmark Graduate School of Journalism at CUNY, who was instrumental in the implementation of New York City's executive order, and the City Council approved an ordinance today authorizing the Department of Housing. Let me pause. I'm shifting gears now. Second thing I want to bring to your attention, the City Council approved an ordinance today authorizing the Department of Housing to negotiate and execute an agreement with Inherent L3C, an affordable housing developer, through the City Lots for Working Families program. Through this partnership, 20 city-owned lots will be transferred for $1 each to Inherent L3C. These lots will then be used to construct 16 new affordable homes and 5 market-rate homes in the West Humboldt Park neighborhood. This will create even more affordable ownership opportunities for families earning no more than 140% of the area median income. In fact, 75% of the units have to be sold to families earning less than 120% of the area median income. What that means is for a family of 4, that's an income of $120,000 or less per year. Importantly, these units are required to stay at affordable prices for 30 years and will allow owners to earn up to $50,000 over equity in 5 years. This will allow us to strike a balance between maximizing the benefits of the city's affordable housing investment and providing program beneficiaries with a chance to obtain upward mobility. Ultimately, these homes represent an opportunity for qualifying families to move out of rental housing and begin building wealth through affordable home ownership, which is incredibly important as our city continues to prosper as we come out of the pandemic-induced economic recession. I'd like to thank those involved with the City Lots for Working Families program for making this effort possible and look forward to breaking ground on these new homes. Third, 2 ordinances, the revenue ordinance and the management ordinance, were introduced today. Those will obviously help frame our budget for FY '23. All the measures taken today during City Council were done, obviously, as is our mantra, and the value that we try to live every day in this administration with equity and inclusion involved. And with that, I'd like to invite Tracy Boehm up to say a few words.